We are back here at Hale Arena. That was Team SWAT, and Team SWAT is in this final, part of the Red Alliance, the #1 seed with the Law out of Lawson High School and Team Titanium out of Lee's Summit West, as they're introducing the teams right now, taking on the Blue Alliance, the #2 seed for the first time. This team is on the blue side, the Kniggets, the Bronco Bots, and Team Neutrino. Storylines going into this one, Paul. I guess we have two Lee Summit teams.
We do. 1986 Team Titanium is from Lee Summit West, whereas 1987 Bronco Bots is from Lee Summit North. So they're squaring off against each other.
5 of the 6 remaining teams in the 2 alliances are from Missouri. Meanwhile, you have a team from Ames, Iowa, 39-28, Team Neutrino. That's a rookie squad. It's a rookie squad,
but it has ties back to the Kansas City area. One of the founding members of the mentor team that got this going in Ames is a student at Iowa State University, and he comes from Olathe, Kansas, and he was on Team 1710. We saw them competing earlier today.
That's terrific, and great for them that they're in this final, getting introduced alongside their teammates from Barstow and from Lee Summit North.
And here in the finals, you're seeing the teams coming out on the field so that they can be introduced. You can see the individuals. They're hard to see behind the glass. We want the audience to see who these kids are.
All right, there's the Law from Lawson, Kansas, selected by Team Titanium. After SWAT was selected, why do you think they chose the Lawson robot?
Well, the Lawson robot is every bit as good as the other ones. And so I think what they were looking for is something to round out the shooting mechanisms of the other two. Lawson seems to be a good defense robot.
There's Team Titanium right there. We saw them put up 177 points. How big of a score is that?
That's huge. I think the record so far in the first 2 weekends is about 215. We haven't seen scores above, say, 150, 160 in this tournament, so that was a pretty high score.
I bet it's neat for you guys, too, knowing what the plans are and then actually seeing it come to fruition for the first time and saying, okay, what's the strategy and what parts of this arena and our rules are they taking advantage of?
Well, some of these robots have figured out things like, say, SWAT. They move into the corner and they look at this arena and they say, if we can just tuck in the corner and be in a place where we can keep loading that hopper, provided we can shoot all the way across, we're going to do really well. And guess what? They do it.
Done really well. And we've seen, as you see them shaking hands there, sportsmanship throughout this competition. The Team Titanium guys helping out other squads. You said Lee Summit. The Lee Summit schools actually build one of these arenas. They practice there, and then they'll bring it here for others to try it out.
Absolutely. They build an entire arena just like you see it, except out of wood. They can pack it up in the trucks. They pack it up and bring it in here. It's out back. All the teams are invited to go back and practice on that particular arena before they come out here. It's a wonderful piece of sportsmanship.
It is, because these schools are made of money, and these are expensive robots, and to build a course takes a lot of time and resources and money and commitment, and to see them share is terrific. And it's been, there's competition here, but it's not out cutthroat that you don't want to see.
Well, what's interesting, we didn't hear this, it was during the break, but the MC was talking about how Team Titanium actually helped Up Next, that they faced the last round, get going in this tournament so that they could play. We're not about trying to knock each other out. We're trying to help one another. We call it gracious professionalism.
Well, let's take a look here at who's going to win out. Can the Blue Alliance take down the Juggernaut? It was a 31-match win streak, by the way, for Team Titanium that went down. And quickly here, Blue does have an early lead. As you take a look, they're hitting the chains up there, and you see there's sensors up there to keep track of the score. That's how we know pretty much what the score is almost instantaneously.
That's correct. When they go through those chains and drop down, there's a weight sensor that figures out about how many discs are there. So when we see the score, it's an estimate of the number of discs. What's really going to happen at the end of each match is that there are human observers looking in from the backside who are going to count those discs, verify what's there. So that's why sometimes you see the score change.
Blue has the lead right now. Actually, it's tied 60-60 as Team Titanium shooting layups, Team SWAT shooting half-court shots. For the Blue squad, you have, now take a look here, 1987, getting over there by the SWAT robot, trying to block that Frisbee. You see the noodles it has taped up there. The highest it can go. Can it get a Can he get a piece of those SWAT Frisbees?
They're going to have to be really careful. You see, in that particular corner, they've got a safe zone. 1806, SWAT was in it. If they'd been touched by 1987, there would have been a penalty in 1987.
Did the job, though. Got 1806 to move as they're now closer to the scoring zone. A 114-78 game right now, the unofficial score. Blue needs to get some more points on the board. That's 1939 right there. The Kniggets firing 1, firing 2, 3, and all 4 into the scoring zone. Meanwhile, 1986 is a machine, literally and figuratively. So fast, so elusive. You see 1987. It's Brother Robot from Lee Summit North trying to block it. There's 19 on the clock here. You see 1806 climbing.
Climbing already. They're in position. Here comes 1986. Here come the human players throwing as well.
Another big score coming up for the red squad. As you take a look at 86, can they climb up fast enough just to get off that ground? And they do. They're probably only going to get a 10-pointer, but the SWAT robot is up high enough to score 20 points.
That's correct.
And climb, and just it'll look like 10 points for 1939 climbing the pyramid.
What they've got to do is clear the next level. So the SWAT robot has done that. They're above the first level.
You heard the Smithfield guys talking about how tough it is to get a 120-pound robot up above 2 levels. They did it there, but job well done, I guess, there by the blue defense. They got the Smithfield robot to stop firing away.
That's right. Broncobots got in front of them, and I think stopped them from firing their entire load or magazine. They got out of that safe zone quickly because they realized they couldn't score and went down closer. That might have caused Smithville to not score as many, but you know, that final score that we saw, that was the estimate, the Red Alliance was way ahead. Red Alliance was way ahead. They're going to tally things up. As you were talking about, it's not just the sensors. You have humans keeping track of the Frisbees that go in and all the points being incurred. They'll talk about fouls. They'll add up the climb points and figure it out. We'll figure it out at this break when we come back. The second match of this final here at Hale Arena. Here we go, underway. This final match. Red going at it. Up early. As you see, Lee Summit West firing away. 3 more go in. 1806, the SWAT squad going back to its corner, getting ready to load and fire. Over on the Blue Alliance, the new squad, 2353. Looks like it can pick up Frisbees. And looks like it's going to play some defense on 1986. I think so. As I said earlier, I think that's why they brought them in. 2353's job right now is to keep 1986 away from the other end where they can score.
Take a look at SWAT. It's heading over close to the targets.
This is interesting because their best strategy is to stay over by the hopper and be fed. Something must be going on where they're not confident that they can do it that way. They have to move up close. 1986 is not only being defended by
being double teamed.
They were double teamed there for the out.
66-39, early unofficial score in favor of Red. There's 1806 firing away, but not able to hit the target. They got one in there.
1987 is trying to move up to block that shot.
Oh, they're getting it. They got that one. They got the last 2.
Deflected it. They've got position. Oh, they missed that one. They may have to recalibrate. The thing is, 1987 cannot touch 1806, so they're going to be penalized, and that could hurt the Blue Alliance terribly.
Meanwhile, 1986 from Lee Summit West is free, and they are motoring. 4 more in. They've got 90 points right now, under 40 seconds left to go. SWAT team heading over, being escorted by 1987. Blue team, the problem with them is they're not scoring. They're going to need to climb, get some climbing points. It's 1939, the Kniggets gets 3 in the bucket. And now time to throw. A quick blue Frisbee in for the Alliance.
1806 starts to climb. 1986 is hopping around. They might have some control problems. I think they're going to shoot again. They're not sure what they're going to do.
They've got 9 seconds to get up on that pyramid. Up by about 30 or 40. Climbing is SWAT. Trying to get higher is 1986. We'll have to see if that was enough for the Red Alliance to get to victory and to win the whole thing here at the Kansas City Area Regionals.
So at this point, they're going to be very careful. They're going to talk to one another about any penalties. They're going to talk to the human counters at the end zones to make sure that the disc count from the weight sensors is accurate. They don't want to mess this up at all. They want to make sure that they've got the right winner. Even though it looked like they were far ahead, I've seen it change before. But you can tell the Red Alliance zone, they're feeling pretty good about it.
They are in probably one of the lower scoring outputs for Red, as Blue played terrific defense, but it's a lot of give and take. If you play a lot of defense, it's hard to fill it up score-wise.
There goes that lifting mechanism of 1806.
That's pretty neat. Now they go right on the corner there. It's such a heavy machine, too.
They're up to 120 pounds. Can you imagine what happened if that thing fell off? And some of them have.
Take a look there. You see the defense being played there by the Blue Alliance.
The 1987 Bronco bots got in their way. Like I said, they can't get too close so they can draw a penalty. So there's a hit.
Block.
There's a nice block. You see how the hopper's being fed in the back there by the human players.
And you saw him get 4 in there, and then he waited for that 5th one to go in.
That's right. And he had to wait because if you get more than 4, you're penalized.
And here we go with the final score. Will it be the final match of competition? And it is. We have a winner. The Red Alliance of the Law, Team Titanium, and SWAT are your champions of the Kansas City Regional in the first robotics competition.
It was Lawson, Missouri High School, Lee Summit West High School, and Smithville High School here in the Kansas City area, moving on to the World Championship at the end of April. That's really exciting.
Where's that being played?
That's going to be in St. Louis at the Edwards Dome and the Americas Conference Center. There's going to be 30,000 people there. 4 of these fields, and you know what, Mick? It's free. Anybody can go see it.
You're kidding.
No, it's absolutely free all 4 days. Not only would you see these robots in play, but our other 3 divisions, First Tech Challenge, a slightly smaller robot, First Lego League for ages 9 through 14, and Junior Lego League for ages 6, 7, and 8. And I'd encourage anybody who thinks this is cool, while it's in St. Louis and it rotates around. So while it's in St. Louis, get over to St. Louis April 24, 5, 6, and 7 and see this. It's amazing.
All right, we're back to talk with the winners and wrap things up after this on Metro Sports. Back here at Hale Arena one final time as Team Titanium, the Law, and SWAT take it down. Our #1 seed gets all the way to the finals, and they win. They move on to the national competition. One more time over to Haley Keith and a victorious Team Titanium.
Thanks, Mick. I'm here with Titanium, and you guys are now the champions. How do you feel?
It's great. We had some mishaps that had never happened before, but we somehow pulled through in the end, so it was a good driving experience and good team effort there. So.
Yeah, there was absolutely a lot of people here cheering you guys on, wanting you guys to win. It looked like you had a little bit of technical difficulty, but you pulled through and you made it through. So congratulations, and we're really proud of you. Any last words?
Yeah, thanks to SWAT and 2457 for all their teamwork and their ability to pull through and everything, so it was great.
All right, again, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Haley, thanks very much. So Paul, lastly here, this Red Alliance will be split up as they go to national competition. Can these teams make some noise there?
Absolutely. I would predict that we're going to see Titanium, in particular, from Lee Summit West, and the SWAT team from Smithville make it into some of the final rounds there. They have 4 divisions at the World Championship. I bet both of them are going to make the final rounds in each division, and I think at least one of them is going to make it into the final round there at the World Championship.
A lot of fun today. We appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Absolutely, Mick. Thanks for being here.
For Paul Burkhardt, our producer, director, Curtis Lorenz, and everybody involved, our Metro Sports crew, I'm Mick Schaefer saying thanks for watching this edition of the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week.